Meta changed everything and didn't even tell you. The Andromeda update explained. Meta just rebuilt the entire Facebook and Instagram advertising engine. It rolled out globally in October, and if your ads have felt off for the last month or two, or if your costs have just started creeping up and you can't figure out why, this is it. So we started noticing something was different with our ads recently. Things that were working just changed. And I'm seeing the same thing everywhere. Business owners asking, what's happening to my ads? Here's what's actually going on. Meta rolled out something called Andromeda, and the global rollout just finished in October, 2 months ago. And this is a complete overhaul of how their ad system actually works. And the strategies that worked for years, they don't work anymore. So in this video, I'm going to break down what actually changed and why your ads feel different and what you need to know to make sure you can adapt, because the business owners who understand this shift right now are going to have a massive advantage over those who don't. I remember when I called one of our Facebook technicians who wasn't actually adding any more information in about audiences, and he was just focusing on creative. And I was like, hey, why have you not put? And he's like, trust me. And I was like, no. And he's like, no, trust me, this is what's happening, blah, 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 the AI. And he tried to explain it to me. And he was right. So shout out to the team for letting us know about this. But we began going broader with our targeting and creating more diverse creative way earlier, right? And I was telling people about it and telling them not to really put too much emphasis on the audience targeting or the media buying aspect of it all. And people thought I was crazy. People thought we were wild. They were like, why aren't you doing your job properly? You know, why are you targeting so broad? Why aren't you splitting your campaigns and you're not putting, interests in and so forth? But here's what most people don't know. This rollout actually started in late 2024, meaning it took almost a year for it to completely roll out, believe it or not. Meta did this in phases, different regions, different account types over time. So some of us were experiencing these changes months before others even noticed anything was different. The global rollout finishing 2 months ago means now everyone's feeling it. So if you've been seeing weird patterns in your ads for a while now, you're not crazy. The game was changing underneath you, which leads us to the question, what is Andromeda? Now, let's start with what this thing actually is. Andromeda is Meta's new AI-powered ad delivery system. It's the engine that decides which ads get shown to what people. The old system, it was pretty simple. You tell Facebook, I want to target homeowners, this age, this interest, blah, 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 and then Facebook would show your ads to those people. The new system is completely different. Here's what makes it so powerful. Andromeda is built on massive, deep neural networks. We're talking about models that are 10,000 times larger than the old retrieval models. 10,000 times. It's not an incremental improvement. That's a complete leap in capability. And it operates at an insane scale in real time. This new system is sifting through millions of eligible ads, picking candidates in milliseconds, and processing massive amounts of on-platform behavior. So what you do when you're online, taking context signals, everything, all happening in the blink of an eye, and then it's showing you what it thinks is going to have the highest likelihood of you converting. So the old system was analyzing the content people engage with and their basic demographics. Andromeda is analyzing what content people engage with, their recent behavior patterns, the actual creative in your ads, so the images, the words, the video content, context, timing, intent signals. It's moved completely beyond demographic targeting. So it's not just showing it to people who fall in that age group. It's showing it to people who have behaviors of someone who has high intent, right? You need to understand this. So instead of you saying, hey, show this to 40-year-old homeowners, the AI is looking at their behavior, their intent, and all of the context to figure out who should see what. Creative is now the new targeting. Let me say that again because it's super important. Creative is now the targeting, okay? The AI literally reads your ad content, the visuals, the copy, the message, and uses that to figure out who should see it. It's not about picking the audience anymore. It's about creating ads that signal to AI who should care about them. Let's get specific. Here's what died with the old system, okay? So no more narrow targeting. That doesn't work like it used to. If you've been running separate campaigns with different services, say one for kitchen remodeling and one for bathroom remodeling and one for home additions and one for home extensions, that doesn't work anymore. Here's what's actually working. The system wants broad targeting. The AI is designed to learn from broad pools of opportunity to find your customers based on behavior, all right? Not just demographics. So when you narrow things too much, you're starving the algorithm of the data it needs to learn. If you've ever seen your ads stuck in learning limited, that's why. Remember, I've been telling you guys for ages, data is the game. Start recording all of your shit. The world is about to change forever. Machines are about to take over and they are all trained on data. Start recording all your shit. Anyway, does that mean you should target the entire world? No. You still need a couple of things. Geographic constraints, really important. You can't remodel kitchens in Sydney if you live in Melbourne, right? Or you probably don't want to. Legal or brand exclusions, high intent retargeting for people who've already visited your site. So if you're running an SEO campaign, you might have retargeting based on people who have engaged with your site or downloaded your lead magnet or so forth. Those make sense. But here's what doesn't work anymore, okay? Splitting your campaigns based on service type when each one can't generate enough conversions on its own for the system to actually learn who's buying your shit. Start broad unless you have a real world reason not to. Let the AI figure out the specifics through the creative, okay? Consolidation is the new default. It used to be you'd split things up. One ad set for this audience, one for that, another one for this. Made sense. When you spread your budget across multiple ad sets, you're splitting the data. The system needs data density to learn effectively. Too many ad sets, slow learning, and hurt performance. Now, does that mean you should only ever run one ad set? No, not necessarily. There are still valid reasons to have multiple ad sets. Different geographic regions with different economics, prospecting versus retargeting, or if you're running, say, an event in multiple cities and you want to have control over the spend, that's understandable as long as you're spending enough. That's the most important thing. See, most businesses don't have that kind of volume across multiple specific service campaigns. So for most of you, consolidation makes sense. One campaign, one or two ad sets max, and then multiple diverse ads within them. Simple, clean, data dense. Okay? Lookalike audiences have changed, but they're not dead. They work just differently now. They're not hard boundaries anymore. So meaning it used to be they would only show it to specifically that individual. Now they work more like suggestions to the AI. So the system will use them as starting points, but expand way beyond them to find similar behavioral patterns, right? Micro testing, completely dead. Testing 47 versions of the same ad with a slightly different headline, done, over, finished. The system doesn't care about your minor variations anymore. It'll make its own variations. It wants genuinely different concepts, okay? Different angles, different messages, different visuals, different videos, different backgrounds, different creatives. So here's what we've shifted to as a business, and it's actually working. We've stopped trying to narrow things down too specifically, okay? We focus on entire states with minimal restrictions, and we let the AI do its job. I've tested to try and target versus the AI. The AI wins every single time. Trust me, I've tested it. So the biggest thing you want to do is have diverse creative across different awareness stages. This is key. We're creating ads that speak to different stages of awareness now. So people who don't know they have a problem, people who have a problem but don't know the solution, people who know the solution and they're comparing options, and the people who are ready to buy right now, right? And if you haven't seen it already, I've got a video called The Levels of Awareness. I'll link it in the description below so you can watch it. Each stage needs different messaging. You need to speak to them differently. And that's how you feed the algorithm what it wants. Okay? We've really simplified the structure and what we're doing. So we usually stick to one campaign, 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 ad sets, depending on the overall budget, but multiple diverse ads within it. So we keep it clean and simple. And you need to trust the process. This is the hardest part, but you got to give the campaigns 5 to 7 days to learn without touching them. So no panic kills after 24 hours, no constant tweaking. The algorithm needs time and data to figure things out. And this is probably the hardest thing for most people to accept, but you're not in control anymore. Not the way you used to be. Your job isn't to find your audience. Your job is to create the content now that attracts them. Think about it like this. Instead of hunting for the right people, putting out bait that the right people can't ignore, the AI handles the distribution. It's less media buyer and more content creator. Media buying is dead. And for business owners specifically, this is actually good news because you know your customers' pain points better than any algorithm. You know what keeps them up at night. You know what the objections they have are. Your job now is to create the ads to speak to all those different angles. So the AI is going to handle getting it in front of the right eyes. Okay, the global rollout just finished in October, which means most of your competitors have no idea what's going on. They're probably still running ads the old way, wondering why their ads costs are going up. And you understanding this shift today gives you a window, a real advantage, okay? Because in 6 months, everyone's going to know about this and everyone will have adapted. But right now, you can get ahead while everyone else is still trying to work out why their cost per lead is going up. So here's the reality. This isn't going back, okay? The businesses that adapt to this new system, that embrace the broader targeting, create diverse creative, simplify this structure, and trust in the AI, trust in the bots, they're going to win. And if you trust in them, you're going to win. So businesses that keep trying to run ads the old way, trying to have full control, trying to maintain things that worked previously that don't work anymore, they're going to keep seeing their ad costs go up and their results go down. Full transparency, we're still trialing new approaches, testing different things, figuring out what works best under this new system. But I'm going to keep you updated as we go, all right? Because even though the global rollout finished in October, this is still new. Most people are just now feeling the full impact of these changes. So subscribe to this channel because I'll be sharing what's working, what's not, and what we're learning as we navigate this, okay? Speed is the advantage here, speed. The question isn't whether this update affects you. It does. Everyone running Meta ads is playing by new rules now. The question is, are you going to adapt while your competitors still figure out what happened, or are you just going to sit there and keep doing the same thing? Drop a comment and let me know if you've noticed these changes in your own ad accounts. I'm curious. Any other business owners seeing the same patterns we are? That's it from me. If you liked the video, subscribe, share it with someone.